What if the most powerful masterpiece you ever create is already inside your mind waiting for your hand to set it free? Today on Modern Abstract Art, Mind-Hand Masterpiece, we're turning raw emotion, fearless movement, and spontaneous texture into a stunning modern abstract painting that feels alive. Watch closely, because every stroke you're about to see begins as a thought, transforms through instinct, and becomes a visual story that words could never tell. Welcome back to Modern Abstract Art, Mind-Hand Masterpiece, the space where emotion becomes movement, thought becomes texture, and every blank canvas becomes a living story today. I want to invite you into something deeper than technique, something beyond color theory, brush control, or composition rules. This is about the invisible journey that begins in the mind, flows through the hand, and arrives as a masterpiece that did not exist before this moment. Before the first mark touches the surface, abstract art starts as a Pulsean emotion, a memory, a tension, a fragment of light, a silence, or even a question you cannot yet explain. As a professional artist, I have learned that the most powerful abstract works are not painted from what the eyes see, but from what the inner world feels. So as you begin with me today, take a moment to look at your blank canvas not as emptiness, but as possibility. This white surface is not waiting for perfection, it is waiting for honesty. I begin by selecting colors that reflect mood rather than logic. Maybe today it is deep ultramarine for introspection, crimson for passion, warm ochre for memory, and white for breath and space. Notice how even choosing color is a psychological act. You are not decorating, you are translating emotion into pigment. I load the palette knife slowly, letting thick acrylic gather like sculpted thought, and then the first gesture arrives. A sweeping diagonal stroke moves across the canvas, bold and unapologetic. This is the moment the mind hands over control to the body. In modern abstract art, the first mark is sacred because it breaks fear. Once that first line exists, the conversation has begun. Every next movement is a response. I drag the knife again, this time allowing texture to rise and fracture. Roughness appears beside smoothness, and suddenly contrast begins to speak. This is where modern abstraction becomes deeply human, contradiction. Calm beside chaos, softness beside aggression, control beside surrender. As artists, we do not erase these opposites. We let them coexist. That is what gives the work life. Now I switch to a wide, flat brush and begin layering transparent washes over the textured foundation, letting one color partially veil another. Think of this like memory itself. Nothing is ever fully hidden, only transformed by what comes after. The beauty of abstraction lies in these layers of revelation. What you cover still influences what is seen. As my hand moves, I allow instinct to guide rhythm. Some strokes are deliberate, architectural, almost geometric. Others are spontaneous, broken, emotional. The canvas starts to breathe with movement, and what once felt random begins to reveal an internal logic. This is an important lesson for every artist watching. Trust the stage where the painting looks uncertain. Masterpieces are not born polished. They are discovered through ambiguity. There is always a middle phase where the work resists clarity, where it feels unresolved, maybe even ugly. Do not stop there. The masterpiece often hides behind discomfort. I now introduce a circular motion with charcoal, drawing loose orbital forms that hover beneath and above the paint. These circles are not objects, they are echoes of thought, symbols of repetition, memory loops, human patterns. In modern abstract language, shapes are emotional architecture. A sharp vertical may suggest resilience, a fractured square may imply confinement, a floating curve may speak of release. As professionals, we learn to compose feeling through structure. The hand becomes translator, turning abstract thought into visible rhythm. Now I step back. This pause is as important as the painting itself. Distance reveals relationships the close eye misses. I look for tension points, areas where energy gathers too heavily, spaces that need silence, edges that need interruption. A masterpiece is not about filling space. It is about orchestrating presence and absence. So I return with white paint and carve breathing room into the composition, scraping back sections, lifting pigment away, allowing the canvas underneath to reappear like forgotten truth. Negative space is not emptiness, it is the voice between words. In modern abstract art, silence often speaks louder than detail. I begin splattering diluted black ink across the surface, letting gravity and chance collaborate with intention. This dance between control and accident is one of the most thrilling dimensions of abstract work. You plan enough to guide meaning, but surrender enough to let the painting surprise you. Surprise is the birthplace of authenticity. If the work only does what you expected, it may be skillful, but it may not yet be alive. Now the composition shifts. A central area emerges with undeniable gravity, pulling the eye inward. This becomes the emotional core. I intensify it with layered impasto, pressing thick whites, metallic grays, and sharp accents of gold into the center. The texture rises physically from the surface, catching light differently as the viewer moves. This is where the piece transcends image and becomes object, presence, experience. Modern abstract art lives beautifully in this intersection between painting and sculpture. The surface itself becomes terrain. Every ridge holds a decision. Every scrape preserves a moment of hesitation or courage. As I continue, I let the hand move faster, more intuitively, almost like choreography. This is the stage where the body remembers what the mind no longer needs to explain. Years of practice allow instinct to operate with intelligence. For artists watching, understand this deeply. Mastery is not the absence of freedom, but freedom earned through repetition. The hand becomes fluent only after discipline. Mind to hand to masterpiece is not merely a poetic phrase, it is the anatomy of artistic evolution. First comes vision, then action, then refinement, then revelation. I soften one aggressive area with translucent lavender, creating emotional complexity where there was once only force. This reminds us that no feeling is singular. Even anger contains vulnerability, even joy contains fragility, even stillness contains motion. Great abstract work reflects the layered psychology of being human. The painting is now beginning to speak back clearly. I can see pathways for the eye, moments of pause, collisions of texture, and visual breathing spaces. The energy feels intentional, without becoming rigid. This balance is the signature of professional modern abstract art, freedom held by design. I add final linear details with a fine brush, small interruptions, elegant disruptions, whispers of movement that guide the viewer across the canvas without dictating meaning. Remember, abstraction is a collaboration between artist and audience. We create the language, but the viewer completes the sentence through their own emotion and memory. That is why abstract art remains timeless. It does not tell people what to see. It gives them permission to feel. As the final layers settle, I notice how the original first stroke still survives beneath everything else. Hidden but essential. This is a beautiful metaphor for creative life itself. The first brave action, however imperfect, remains inside the final masterpiece. Nothing is wasted. Every mistake, every revision, every layer contributes to depth. So if you are creating alongside me today, release the fear of getting it wrong. In modern abstract art, there is no failure in the mark itself, only opportunity in how you respond. The masterpiece emerges not from perfect decisions, but from meaningful ones. I now sign the painting subtly in the lower edge, not as ownership, but as witness to the journey. What began as a blank surface has become a record of thought, movement, instinct, resistance, and resolution. This is the power of the artistic process. It teaches us that clarity often comes through action, not before it. The mind imagines, the hand discovers, and the masterpiece reveals what neither fully knew alone. As we close today's session, I want every artist, collector, and creative soul watching this channel to remember that abstract art is not about painting something recognizable. It is about making something unforgettable. Let your materials speak. Let your textures breathe. Let your colors confess what words cannot hold. Most importantly, trust the journey from inner vision to physical expression. The distance between mind and masterpiece is crossed by the courage of the hand. If this process inspired you, return to your canvas with less fear and more truth. Let your emotions choose the palette, let your instincts guide the rhythm, and let the surface become a map of your unseen world. Here on Modern Abstract Art Mind-Hand Masterpiece, we are not simply making paintings, we are transforming thought into presence, silence into texture, and imagination into something that can outlive the moment it was born. And that truly is the essence of professional modern abstract art. Not imitation, but revelation.